So the All Blacks squad for the second test versus Los Pumas has just been announced. Scott Robertson has made some interesting changes, some changes that not many people might have seen coming, some maybe forced changes, and then some others where you're like, wow, we're not really giving someone the opportunity to stake his claim in that position. Is this team strong enough to hold off the Los Pumas? We know how strong this Los Pumas side is, how much passion they're going to bring to the game, how much effort, energy, all of those things they're going to bring to this game. Can this All Blacks team keep that Eden Park record intact, or will Los Pumas break that? Before we get into it, let me know in the comments what you guys thought. What do you think of this team? What do you think is going to happen this weekend between the All Blacks and Los Pumas? Let me know in the comments. Hit that subscribe and let's get into it. Few question marks around the starting squad, if you ask me. So we're going to run through it and then we're just going to get into it. So Razor's made a couple of changes here. So starting lineup of Tamaiti Williams, Cody Taylor and Tyrell Lomax, Tupou Vaa'i and Sam Darry in the locks. Back row of Ethan Blackadder, Dalton Papali'i and Ardie Savia. Ardie Savia captain again. Then 9 and 10 of TJ Perenara and Damien McKenzie. Centers, Jordie Barrett and Rico Yani. And then back three of Caleb Clark, Will Jordan and Beauden Barrett. On the bench, we've got Asafa Moore, Ofa Tongafasi, Fletcher Newell, Josh Lord, Sam Cane, Cortez Ratima, Anton Leonard-Brown and Mark Talia. Man, it's on paper still a very, very strong squad. It's just whether they can bring it together. Just seem they, like I said it in last week's review of the game, they just looked very one out, especially in the forwards. Ardie Savia looked like he was the only one really having a go in that forward pack, trying to take on the Argentinians physically. So hopefully they can come together and play as a unit, and they're going to have to. Argentinian forward pack, they come in with everything they've got and some. And their bench come on with everything. Like, it's a lot. Can the All Blacks? I love how the script has changed. For me, before the first game, it was can Argentina keep up? Now it's can the All Blacks keep up? That is a fair question. The record at Eden Park is massively in the All Blacks' favour. Can they keep that intact? So some of the changes, so Tamaiti Williams comes in. Ethan de Groot totally dropped out of the 23. I think he might be nursing an injury. I don't think he did anything to warrant being dropped. So he might be nursing an injury, and that's a massive boost for Tamaiti Williams. Still fairly inexperienced in the international scene. You're getting your opportunity, sink or swim, boy. Let's go. So no other changes in the forward pack there. Some people would have maybe liked Luke Jacobson to come in to start, maybe Sam Cane to start, but Sam Cane is on the bench. Not much they can do with around the locks. Again, I thought Tupou Vaa'i and Sam Darry were really good to start off the game last week. They did well, their lineouts good around the park. It's just in the back end of that game when guys like Lavanini came on for Argentina and really disrupted that lineout. A bit of miscommunication at lineout time with Almua and his jumpers. So hopefully they've definitely worked on it. It's just linking up there. In the back line is where I've got the biggest question marks, all right? So Caleb Clark, so two new wingers come in, Caleb Clark and Will Jordan start. They come out saying that Will Jordan is a fullback who can play wing. Okay, I get Beauden Barrett, fantastic, one of the best players in the world. You want him to start and you want Will Jordan to start. So I kind of get that. I'd love to see Will Jordan at fullback because the amount of the depth you have on the wing, like Mark Talia, it's a gun. Keep him in there and get Will Jordan on at fullback and have Beauden Barrett coming on later in the game. We know what he does off the bench. He's fantastic. But the thought of having Will Jordan and Barrett playing together at the same time is a scary thought for opposition. And that's what they're probably going. They're probably easing Will Jordan into it. But you could see later on someone like Will Jordan move back to fullback, Beauden Barrett coming off and Mark Talia going to wing. Or you could even see Damien McKenzie coming off, Barrett going to fly off, Jordan going to fullback, and then Talia going onto the wing. And then maybe even Jordie Barrett coming off and Anton Leonard-Brown going into 12. My biggest question mark is around the 13 jumper. So Rico Yani gets the nod here. I thought Anton Leonard-Brown played out of his skin last week. He was one of the best for the All Blacks last week. And my biggest question here is like, what message are you sending to the players when a player gets his opportunity, does really well, but then gets dropped the next week? I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. They obviously have the deeper conversations with the players. They obviously seeing things that us as fans and pundits don't really see on the field. They've got all the stats. They've got all the second efforts. What are these guys doing off the ball, on the ball, and all those little touch points that they want as coaches out of the players. We don't really see that. But I thought Anton Leonard-Brown really played well last week, and then to get dropped the following week, and it's more around like what message is getting sent to the players in that regard. Rico Yani came on last week, didn't do much. Yes, he's a lot faster than Anton Leonard-Brown, and maybe that's what they're looking at. Just a little bit of X factor there, a little bit more punch when he does get the ball or when he gets half breaks. He's got more of that like just out and out finishing or rounding off those line breaks and those plays. So that's probably my biggest question mark. I love Caleb Clarke coming in on the wing. I had him in my predicted starting 15. He'll just bring that extra punch off first phase, just giving another option off first phase. So you've got Jordie Barrett and Rico Yani, Anton Leonard-Brown did well last week, but you'll have Rico Yani who do well off first phase. But to have someone like Caleb Clarke coming around the corner off scrums or straight off the line out, you could probably see that happening straight off the line out, straight to Caleb Clarke and him crashing the ball up. Because no one wants to tackle him there, man. Him running onto the ball like that, he's got 20 meters to gain some momentum and then run straight at you. That's a scary sight. So that's something they'll definitely be looking to utilize there in that regard. And then I think Will Jordan and Caleb Clarke's ability in the air might be a little bit better than of Sevu Reece and Talia. Sam Cane on the bench, also exciting process of him to come back into the international team, into the All Black scene, him coming on later, just bringing that little bit more experience to come on a bit later to match RG's bench, Los Pumas' bench when they come on. I would have liked to see Cortez Ratima get the start, but TJ Perenara gets a start again. Bringing on Ratima later also will help to inject that little bit of energy for the All Blacks when things start to fizzle down a little bit, or when it looks like they need that extra punch. Let's bring Ratima on to give them that little bit of extra energy, good service, fast, quick, good support lines, quick off the deck. It just brings that little nippy, just X factor around the ruck that I really enjoy. Biggest question will be when those subs are made, how they go around scrum time, line outs. Your set piece is so important, and they really have to nail that in the back end of the game. And that's where we all saw Argentina really knuckle down and win the game, was at the back end. And subs were made, the scrums started, and penalties started coming. All Blacks line out was shambles. So that's something that they'll really look to focus on. And it was probably a key area that they focused on this week during training. Absolutely. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. It's going to be a huge test. I don't care what Eden Park's record is. Yes, it's in the back of their minds, but the pressure is on the All Blacks here. Okay, Argentina have never won back-to-back games versus the All Blacks. It hasn't been done before. The record at Eden Park is heavily in the All Blacks' favour. But that could be weighing on Argentinians. Like, yes, it's in the All Blacks' favour, but I think it's more weighing on the All Blacks because they're the ones that have to keep that. They're backs against the wall type stuff. But it's also in that regard, it's like, man, a wounded All Blacks team is a scary, scary team. Hopefully they can really react to the way Razor wants them to play. We know he's a good coach. He is a good coach. Yes, the step up from Super Rugby to international is a different beast, but we know what he can do and what he can bring out of players. And you just want this All Blacks team to react to that. I think it's gonna be a tough game. Argentina are gonna come out, like I said, passionate, spirited, full of energy, and hope is there because they've done it. Now they've done it a couple times. They've done it last week. Why they can't do it again? There's no reason why they can't. The pressure for me is on the All Blacks here, but I'm sticking with the All Blacks. I think the All Blacks are gonna get the job done. They're really gonna stand up for the country, for that record at Eden Park, and for Razor, and for themselves. A bit of pride in themselves and that All Blacks jumper. I think All Blacks by 10 in this game. It's going to be tight, but the All Blacks know now what's happening. I still think that Argentina or All Blacks didn't really flex all of their muscles last week, and I think they really react to what Razor wants here. So I'm going All Blacks by 10. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What do you think of the squad? How do you think the game's going to go? It's going to be tough, man. Argentina, it's going to be tough. They're a good team. They can make it happen. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'll see you next time. Bye.